My name is JT, and this is a story about how I built my homestead. Alright guys, so we're back here at the house. Welcome back to JT Time. JT here. Got a few things on the list to do today. I got a lot of tools out, mainly just because my family wants to borrow some of the tools. So that's not what we're going to be working on today. But I got the blades off, or the deck off on my lawnmower, and I want to pretty much sharpen those blades up so that it cuts a little better. I do want to try to cut the grass today. I'm not sure if I really want to or not. I may just end up running the lawnmower but not weeding, because weeding is what really takes me a lot of time, because it's just there's lots of little random parts in the yard that I need to take care of. So I might cut the lawn today. I'm gonna use the bag just because I want to start composting over here. So I do want to collect the grass trimmings that I have and throw them into the compost, and people probably will say that that's going to be really high in nitrogen or something like that because of the grass, but I'll worry about that later. As I like to say, that's for future JT to worry about. But anyways, I'll show you after I get that done. I'll show you what I plan on doing with the soffits and the fascia boards and the trim work. I want to paint all of them. And last time I really liked the fact that I didn't have to use a ladder, so I just kept thinking maybe there's some tools out there that can help me avoid getting up on a ladder, because moving the ladder over and over and over again, it just adds up time, and time just takes me longer to get this work done. So what I did was I bought a few things that I found at the local home improvement store. Pretty much the first thing I bought was a extender. I bought this extender right here. So the one that I was using was just a stick. It was a base extender, so it wasn't that long, and I think it was only like maybe 4 or 5 feet, whereas this one goes 8 feet, which is nice. That'll help me get up to these kind of higher cavities right here without having to reach up so high. So that helps. The next thing I'm gonna give a shot is this. I found this. It's like a edge, they call it an edger painter, and the way they advertise it here is you load up the square box and then you just run this. And the nice part about this is that there's a little screw portion here that screws right into the pole. So what I'm hoping to do is I'll just dip this in the paint and then just run the pad really up and down these edges right here, and we'll see how it goes. If that lets me knock this all out, wonderful. Money well spent, to be honest. And if it doesn't, then my backup plan is I got this right here. So I had this before, but the ones that I bought did not allow me to attach a pole to it. So this one, the same brand, it has it's a 6-inch, so I have a lot of these rollers already. But it has the screw on it, so that allows me to extend it on a stick. So as you can see, I'm just trying my best to avoid a stick. And to be honest, once I get as much as I can with these two little devices, there's a good chance that what I'm gonna do to even continue to avoid using a ladder is I'm just gonna tape a paintbrush to the end of that stick, and I'm gonna paint with a paintbrush on the end of a stick, because it's just so much faster for me to go and not have to use a ladder. You know, moving those ladders is more energy, more work, and you know what, for this portion it's not finishing work, because most of the effort on finishing work I'm going to spend on taping all these windows up, taping all the doors up, taping the soffits up, and then I'm going to use my paint sprayer and pretty much spray everything. So once I'm done doing that, then yeah, maybe when I pull the tape off, I'll touch everything up with the ladder, just go around and touch everything up with a fine level of detail. But for now, this is kind of, I'm happy to do this or give these tools a shot and see if it works. So let's get to sharpening the blade first. I'll go ahead and meet you over at the shed, and I'll kind of show you what I have planned for sharpening the blade. All right, talk to y'all soon. All right, guys, so we're back here at the back of the shed, and as you can see, these blades are just not very sharp at all. I mean, this little part right here is pretty sharp, I guess, but still, they're not in the best condition that they could be in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sharpen them up, and you sharpen this like the way you would a pair of scissors, really. So you don't do it like a knife where you sharpen both sides of it. You just sharpen one side. So just this top side right here is what I'm actually going to take metal off on, and I'm just going to bring this down to the point where it's flat. It's sharper and flat. I'm going to do the same thing on this side to get it sharp and flat, and I'm going to do it on this side too. So what I'm going to use is, you can use a little metal filer, but that's going to take forever. So I'm going to bring out the big guns and use this pretty much grinder, and it does have a cutting blade on it right now, so I'm gonna have to be careful with the cutting blade. I don't have a grinder blade, so I'm just gonna have to work with this. So we'll see how well it does it. If it doesn't, then I'll have to reevaluate and figure out how I'm gonna get this done. All right, see y'all soon. All right, guys, so it does look like I don't have a grinding disc, so I'm just gonna use the cutting disc the best I can. So we'll see. All right, so I'm pretty sure you're bored of me grinding away, but let me show you what I did. So it's pretty sharp now. This still needs to be worked a little bit more. I mean, you saw how it was at the beginning of the video, but this is pretty sharp right here, this edge, and I got better as I was working through it. So I got this one pretty good. This one, I think I can go back and sharpen this up a little bit more to get it as sharp as this side. And that's pretty much it. It is good practice to make sure that you level these out. And a good way to do that is to take off this bolt right here, essentially, and then put this on a like a nail, just to make sure that it's still level, because you want to make sure you take off the same amount of metal on this side that you do on this side. So after I'm just sharpening it on here for now, but I will remove these just so that I can make sure and verify that they are still level, because if they aren't level, whenever this spins at the revs that they are, it's gonna wobble and it's gonna pretty much irregularly spin these, and I don't want that to happen. So let me go ahead and knock that out. I'm pretty much gonna stop the video for now, and I'll kind of show you progress update as I get through it. Okay, all right, talk to y'all soon, guys. So if you look, I took the blade off, and pretty much it's pretty even. I'm surprised that it's this even, but I managed to balance it on this little top right here. I could take a little bit more off this side to make it perfect. To be honest, I looked at the blade, and it looks like this portion right here is a little too flat, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop it down a little bit. I'm gonna drop down this side too, and drop down this side. This side looks pretty good, but I can still drop down a little bit more metal off the top of it. So I'm gonna skinny up these sides a little bit more, and I'll show you the other side. So you see how sharp the other side is now? I'm just kidding. This is actually a new one. So I realized that I have a new blade, so I went ahead and just replaced the other blade. But you can see, like, even on the new blade, this is pretty flat right here. So I'm gonna knock the other one down so that's about that flat as well, and it's pretty sharp in general. So I'm gonna try to get the other one about that sharp. So let me knock that off a little bit more, and I'll get this started up again, and then hopefully we'll start cutting the grass soon before it gets too hot. All right, see y'all real soon. All right, so it's about 12 o'clock right now, guys. Mowing the lawn took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I had a few issues. I'll try to explain them the best I can. The bagging system that I got for my lawnmower It's a different brand. My lawnmower is a Toro, and the bagging system is a Craftsman. And I thought, you know, deck size and pretty much it looked the same. It looked like it would work, and it doesn't. So I have to kind of jerry-rig it and get it to work the best I can. And I'll elaborate on that later on when I get the chance. But it's pretty hot right now, so I kind of want to just end the episode now. So I'll show y'all what I did. Just mowed the lawn pretty much. I got that big pile of compost, or what will be compost later on, right here. So all this is going to be compost for me, and I'll just keep piling up here. I'd like to build out the compost bin sooner or later. I just don't know when I'm gonna have time. So I'm you know, when I have time I'll build it out, but otherwise for now I'll at least pile it up right there. I've done this before at a previous house that we were at, where I just piled it up and then built the compost pile after. Built the compost like bin to store everything in afterwards, and I have an idea of what I want to do here already. I just need the time to do it. But for now, didn't edge, I'm not gonna blow. This is just real sloppy, just kind of get a quick cut so that my neighbors are not as mad at me when they look at my house and think, man, why is this guy not cutting his grass? So the pleasures of living in the city, right? Anyways, so I knocked that out, and I guess next time I come back here, maybe on Friday of next week, I will continue painting. And you know, the grass is pretty short. I purposely cut it pretty short this time, and my hope is that I can probably get away with maybe 6 to 8 weeks worth of not touching it, and hopefully by then I'll have my last, maybe second to last cut during the summer, and I'll get away with maybe 3 cuts of the lawn, 3 to 4 cuts for the lawn the entire summer, which will be nice. I don't want to be spending most of my time out here doing something that is just going to grow back. You know, it's kind of a waste of effort. So which is why I'm not going to weed or blow this time around. But that's pretty much it for today's episode, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Sorry that there's not really much. I guess I showed y'all how to grind the blade down for the lawnmower, and you know, I was looking at my shed, and I found out I do have a grinding disc. Look at that, a little grinding disc, but it's okay. My little setup that I had worked really well, so I just had to. It was a slow type of grinding, but I do have this blade still that I can continue grinding down and getting it kind of sharp again. But the lawnmower worked a lot better this time with that newly grinded down blade, or sharpened blade I should say. So I'm happy with that. I tried my best not to go over any rocks or anything, because you know, you can easily chop, or you can easily tear up that blade if you go over like any kind of rocks or dirt, and just eats up at that sharp edge. So I tried my best not to do that, and for the most part I didn't hit anything, so I think the blade's still pretty good. So I should be good for the rest of the summer, and I'll catch you guys next time. See y'all real soon here on JT Time.